We have the ability through our faith to create our own world. And guess what? That is the world we live in. Circumstances don't make your world. You did. It's like good news and bad news, depending on where you stand. The good news of that is, if that's the case, which I believe it is, we can take control of our circumstances at any time. When we step into a situation knowing we have the choice of what we will do, the circumstances are irrelevant. Either you're in charge or the circumstances are in charge. Which one's it going to be? You will create your own conditions in any situation. You are the dog, not the tail. But many, because they believe and have faith in that they are trapped by situations and circumstances, they let circumstances run their life. They're always subject to circumstance. But we were not created for letting situations run our lives. We were created to take charge over our actions, not be reactionists. I may be creating some new words today. But we are the reactor, not the circumstances. So then the circumstances have to react to us. Either you will take control of your life or life will take control of you. It's never what happens to you, but what you have chosen to walk in. God has chosen us to walk like kings and priests. If we were any less than that, then it was our choice, not our design. We were made to walk in the high places, down paths of righteousness for his name's sake. He didn't create trash. Every man was made in his image and to walk like gods as he intended us to walk. That's with a small g. To be sovereign over this earth, to take authority, but so many have given away their kingship for a bowl of soup. But it wasn't the soup's fault. It was that we chose to be less than what we could be. What we were made for, kings and priests. Either you are running your own show and you're the ringmaster of your life, or you've stepped down to one of the clowns, okay? One of the sweepers, sweeping up all the elephant poop. The sweeper's job didn't choose you. You did. We have no one to blame or get credit for our position at this moment than us. God gave us the template, the outline of who we are. But we have decided if we'll walk in it or give our sovereignty to another. We have been anointed by the King of Kings to be kings. And whether we'll walk in it. We're not the one who determines the outcomes, but we sure determine our walk. He determines the outcomes. Are you willing to walk as a king? Or have you given up your crown for a pauper's life? The faith of yourself and about yourself will determine your position. I don't care what it looks like. We don't go by sight, but by the word of God, that we are kings. Are we not? If we choose not to be, it was a choice. Not a position God chose for us, but by you. Do we use our free will, which is our greatest gift, for kingship or for something less? You were not created to be subjugated by others, but you were given, but you can give your authority away. We start out as made in his image, and from there, once we reach the age of accountability, we choose whether we'll be kings or not. Other men have not been given your authority. As made in the image of God, but you can give away, and many will gladly lord over you if you want to give your sovereignty away. And they give you in return a bowl of soup. Every day is a choice. Will I walk in the kingship, or will I the kingship I was created to be, or a pauper, which I wasn't made for? Don't sell your authority, your kingship. You were created to become someone else. You weren't being created to become someone else's slave. Slavehood is a choice, not an imposed position. You have the choice of kingship, to be like God created you, to be like him, not to be subject to any man, but him. He will always be Lord. He will be the King of Kings. You can choose the kingly walk or let someone else choose your walk for you with a promise of a bowl of soup. You are either king of your life or slave to another. God doesn't run his kingdom with a bunch of slaves that were forced into his kingdom. But his kingdom is made up of those who freely choose to worship him, to follow him. His kingdom is made up of those who freely chose to worship him, not by force, but by choice. It's a way more democratic heaven than you think. All beings there by choice, not by force. If you chose to make your bed in hell, it was a choice. And it can be hard to get out of an earthly hell because there you start having less and less of a choice. Pressure is on you to stay. But as always, you don't have to stay. You can choose to leave and live a godly life. The kingship that you were granted when he made you, that's what you should choose. He never intended you to be any less than a king. Only we at times have chosen otherwise. If he wanted you to be a king, why would you want to be less than that? He would not have made you in his image. You would have been made in the image of another being, a dog, a horse, an angel. He made us greater than angels. In some ways we're less, but one day we will be judging angels. We're the highest creation God has made. In the end, higher than the angels. He didn't make the angels in his image. He made us in his image. That's why the devil was so jealous when man was created that he wanted to become a man. Don't squander such a privilege, but start even from this very moment to walk in it. Your rightful place, your kingship, the place you were granted by the King of Kings. He did not put someone above you or between you and him. He created you as a direct relationship with him. Or you choose he created you to be king and priest of your life, to walk with him in the cool of the evening, to talk to him as a friend, not just as a servant subject. Of course, never being equal to him, but still being a friend. What greater honor could one have than to be called a friend of God? He never planned to lord everything over you, though he is Lord. Some say we were chosen by God. Oh, the elitists. But was not every man made in his image? Were we not all created in his image? Certainly we were chosen, but not by some exclusive group. If he did that, how could he be a fair and just God? No, he is a fair and just God. Has God chosen some and not others? No. He chose us. He made us in his image. He might have chose some for seemingly higher work than others. But again, are we king? Is one man more worthy than another? David served as king and Jonathan as a servant. Was Jonathan any less in God's eyes? I think not. Different gifts, but not one gift less than another. He does not want us to ever to overthink that, say, one man is greater than another. He honors the kingly positions as well as the Jonathan's servant position. Sometimes Jonathan was better than King David in many ways. Some are happy to take the trash out in the kingdom because God is not a respecter of persons. He's a respecter of all people. But he'll only take so much abuse of a man. Then he finally ends his life. God gives and God takes away. Don't take the respect of God that God has for you, your walk with God, and somehow think you're greater than other men, that you're greater than the doorman in his kingdom. Some are happy to be doorman, the servant. And others have a different position. But we must walk as sovereign subjects, not as slaves. As a servant through choice, not by force. Choose to be king of your position. Enjoy it and walk in it. Don't lord it over others and don't be a slave of others, but a servant of others. A slave is not by choice. A servant is by choice. God is not looking for slaves. He's looking for servants, good and faithful servants.